Walk into an Amish home in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania on any given morning, and you will notice something immediately. Something that takes a few seconds to identify because your brain is not used to it. The house smells like nothing. Not like pine, not like lavender, not like warm vanilla or fresh linen or ocean breeze. Just clean air, neutral, honest, completely inoffensive air. And after spending years in homes where plug-in fresheners compete with scented candles, competing with fabric spray, competing with dryer sheets, that neutrality hits you like a glass of cold water on a hot day. The first thing most visitors assume is that the Amish simply do not care about how their homes smell. That assumption is completely wrong. The Amish care deeply about how their homes smell. They have thought about it more carefully than most Americans ever will. They have simply reached a completely different conclusion about what a clean home is supposed to smell like. A clean home is supposed to smell like nothing. That single idea cuts against an entire industry worth billions of dollars. The air freshener market in the United States alone generates over $9 billion every year. Plug-in devices, aerosol sprays, reed diffusers, wax melts, scented candles, car fresheners, linen sprays, drawer sachets, toilet clips, vent sticks. An endless, expanding catalog of products, all designed around one premise: that your home, left to itself, smells bad, and that you need to buy something to fix it. The Amish have never believed that. And for over 300 years, their homes have smelled better than almost any modern American home you will ever walk into. Not because they burn better candles, because they never needed candles at all. Today we are going to look at exactly how they do it, the specific methods, the specific products, the specific habits that keep Amish homes smelling clean without spending a single dollar on anything the fragrance industry sells. And at the center of all of it is one item that costs $2 and sits in every pantry in Lancaster County. You almost certainly have it in your kitchen right now. You just never thought to use it the way the Amish do. The philosophy before the product. Before we talk about vinegar, which is the $2 item, and we will get there, it is important to understand why the Amish approach to smell the way they do, because the methods only make sense once you understand the thinking behind them. In Amish theology, vanity is one of the most serious concerns a person can have. Anything done purely to make yourself more attractive, more impressive, more noticeable to others is considered prideful. Perfume and cologne fall squarely into this category. They serve no practical purpose beyond making the wearer more appealing. In a community where humility is not just encouraged, but structurally enforced, that is enough to disqualify them entirely. Women who wear perfume to Sunday church service in an Amish community do not get a formal reprimand. They get something more effective. A quiet look, a private conversation later that week. The social fabric of the community makes the correction without any authority figure needing to intervene. By the time a young woman reaches baptism and full membership in the church, the idea of wearing perfume feels as foreign to her as the idea of not wearing it feels to most American women. But the reasoning goes deeper than vanity. The Amish are intensely practical people. If something does not serve a clear function, it does not belong in the home. Scented cleaning products clean no better than unscented ones. Air fresheners do not actually clean the air. They add chemicals to it. A plug-in device emitting synthetic lavender into a living room is not making that room cleaner. It is masking whatever is making it smell in the first place. and masking a problem is not solving it. In the Amish worldview, that distinction matters enormously. If your home smells bad, the answer is to find out why and fix it, not to cover it with something that smells like a field of flowers that does not exist anywhere near your house. What they avoid and why. The list of scented products absent from a traditional Amish home is almost identical to the list of products in the average American home. No perfume or cologne, no scented deodorant, no fragranced shampoo or conditioner, no scented lotion, no scented soap beyond the mildest natural variety, no scented laundry detergent, no dryer sheets, no fabric softener, no scented candles, no air fresheners of any kind, no plug-in devices, no reed diffusers, no linen sprays, no scented trash bags, no scented dish soap, no scented cleaning sprays. The women in these communities make many of their own personal care products. Soap in a traditional Amish home is made from 2 ingredients: rendered animal fat from pigs or cows and lye filtered from wood ash. The result is a hard, plain bar that cleans effectively and smells like almost nothing. No synthetic fragrance, no essential oils added for appeal, no packaging with a name like Morning Dew or Citrus Burst. Just soap. The cleaning products follow the same logic. Surfaces get cleaned with white vinegar diluted in water. Stubborn spots get a baking soda paste. Dishes get washed with plain, unscented dish soap. The bathroom gets scrubbed with the same vinegar solution that cleans the kitchen. The whole house, top to bottom, is maintained with 3 ingredients that together cost less than a single bottle of commercial scented cleaner. And the house smells clean. Not like vinegar, clean. Because vinegar smell dissipates within minutes of application and leaves behind nothing but a neutral, odor-free surface. The $2 item, white distilled vinegar. A gallon costs between $2 and $3 at any grocery store. In Amish homes across Lancaster County, it is purchased in bulk, stored in simple containers, and used for more cleaning tasks than most Americans would ever imagine possible. The science behind why it works is straightforward. White vinegar contains 5% acetic acid. That acetic acid is effective at breaking down grease, dissolving mineral deposits, killing certain categories of bacteria and mold spores, and most importantly, for the purposes of smell, neutralizing alkaline, odor-causing compounds. This last point is the one the fragrance industry does not want you to think about too carefully. Most common household odors, cooking smells, pet odors, musty smells, trash smells, and bathroom odors are alkaline in their chemical composition. Acetic acid neutralizes alkaline compounds, which means vinegar does not cover those smells. It chemically eliminates them. A spray bottle of commercial air freshener works by dispersing synthetic fragrance molecules into the air in sufficient concentration to overwhelm your ability to detect the underlying odor. The moment the synthetic fragrance dissipates, the original smell returns. Because nothing was neutralized, nothing was cleaned. The air was just temporarily crowded with something stronger. Vinegar used on the source of an odor eliminates the source. After the vinegar itself dissipates, which happens quickly, there is nothing left. No odor, no synthetic fragrance, just neutral air. The Amish have known this for generations. They did not need a chemistry textbook to explain it. They discovered it through use, how they clean with it. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle. This is the foundational cleaning solution in most Amish homes. It goes on countertops, stovetops, cabinet fronts, refrigerator shelves, bathroom sinks, toilet exteriors, floors, and virtually every hard surface in the house. For the kitchen specifically, where cooking odors are the most persistent source of household smell, the vinegar solution gets applied after every meal. The stovetop, the surrounding area, the counters where food was prepared. The acetic acid neutralizes the grease compounds and the volatile organic molecules that linger from cooking. Within minutes of wiping down the surfaces, the kitchen returns to neutral. For trash cans, both the interior and the exterior get a spray and wipe with straight vinegar once a week. The odor-causing bacteria that accumulate in the bottom of trash containers are disrupted by the acetic acid. The can stops smelling. Not because it has been sprayed with something that smells better, because the bacteria producing the odor have been eliminated. For laundry, half a cup of white vinegar added to the rinse cycle replaces fabric softener entirely. It neutralizes odors in the fabric, removes detergent residue that can cause a stale smell over time, and leaves clothing smelling like nothing, which, combined with line drying outdoors in fresh air, means Amish laundry smells the way laundry used to smell before the fabric softener industry convinced an entire generation that clean clothes are supposed to smell like a meadow. Line drying is part of the system. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant. Fresh air carries away residual moisture and any remaining trace odors. Clothing dried outside needs no fabric softener, no dryer sheet, no scented spray. It just smells clean. The way every generation before the 20th century understood clean laundry to smell. The ventilation system that costs nothing. The second pillar of how Amish homes stay smell-free is so simple it barely qualifies as a technique. They open their windows. Every morning in a traditional Amish home, windows are opened, not cracked, opened. Fresh air moves through the house for at least part of every day, weather permitting. This is not considered a preference or a luxury. It is considered basic household management. A home that does not breathe accumulates stale air. Stale air traps odors. Trapped odors require either ventilation or masking. The Amish choose ventilation every time. Modern homes are built increasingly airtight for energy efficiency. HVAC systems recirculate the same air continuously. Synthetic fragrances from dozens of products mix together in that recirculated air until the baseline smell of the average American home is a complex chemical cocktail that nobody chose deliberately. It just accumulated product by product over years. The Amish home starts fresh every morning. Whatever lingered from last night's dinner, from the work clothes left in the mudroom, from the wood stove burning through the night, it exits through the open windows while the family does morning chores. By the time breakfast is on the table, the house has reset. This is the system. Vinegar for surfaces, soap for skin and dishes, open windows for air, strict separation of outdoor work clothes from indoor living spaces, regular, thorough cleaning that eliminates odor sources rather than covering them, and a complete principled rejection of every product the fragrance industry has ever tried to sell them. The total annual cost of this system in a traditional Amish household is somewhere between $15 and $30. That is the vinegar, the baking soda, the plain unscented soap. Everything else is free. The average American household spends between $150 and $400 every year on scented products alone. Air fresheners, candles, dryer sheets, fabric sprays, scented cleaners. Products that do not clean anything. Products that exist solely to make the house smell like something it is not. The Amish looked at that calculation 300 years ago and made a different choice. And their homes have smelled better ever since. Part 2 covers the personal care side of this system. How the Amish handle body odor, laundry, bedroom freshness, and the strict barn-to-house protocols that keep farm smells completely out of living spaces. And why modern research is now confirming that everything the fragrance industry sold you for the last 50 years may have been doing more harm than good. Walk into the bedroom of an Amish home, and you will notice the same neutrality you found in the kitchen. No scented drawer liners, no linen spray on the pillows, no plug-in device humming beside the nightstand, just clean fabric, fresh air, and the faint natural smell of cedar from the chest at the foot of the bed. That cedar chest is the closest thing to a scented product you will find in an Amish bedroom. And it is not there for fragrance. It is there because natural cedar repels moths from wool blankets and winter clothing. Function first. Always function first. The bedding gets washed in plain, unscented detergent and lined dried outdoors whenever weather allows. Sunlight does what no dryer sheet ever could. It kills odor-causing bacteria through ultraviolet exposure and lets fresh air carry away every trace of staleness. The sheets come back inside smelling like outdoor air. Clean, neutral, honest. Nothing added. The barn separation protocol. On an Amish farm, the single greatest threat to a clean-smelling home is the barn. Livestock, manure, feed, mud, and animal dander sit just yards from the back door. In many modern rural homes, that proximity means the house carries a permanent undertone of farmyard. The Amish solved this problem not with air fresheners, but with strict physical separation enforced from childhood. Work boots never enter the house. They come off at the door and stay in the mudroom or on the porch. Work clothes worn in the barn are removed in that same transitional space and never carried into the main living area. Hands and face are washed before sitting at any table. The mudroom functions as a decontamination zone, a physical boundary between the outdoor working world and the indoor living space. Children learn this system before they learn to read. By the time an Amish child is old enough to help with morning chores, the habit of stopping at the door, removing boots, changing clothes, and washing up is as automatic as breathing. No reminder needed, no sign on the door, just a standard that the entire community maintains without exception. What modern research is now saying. Synthetic fragrance ingredients are not required by law to be individually disclosed on product labels in the United States. The word fragrance on an ingredient list can legally represent a mixture of hundreds of different chemical compounds. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has linked certain fragrance chemicals to hormone disruption, respiratory irritation, and contact dermatitis. The FDA has no pre-market approval process for fragrance ingredients in cleaning or personal care products. The Amish avoided all of this without ever reading a single study. Their reasoning was theological and practical. The science simply caught up later. A $2 bottle of vinegar. Open windows every morning. Soap made from 2 ingredients. Boots left at the door. That is the entire system. No plug-in required, no subscription, no refill cartridge. Just clean. The way it always should have been.